Abhishek Murali is hereby called to order. I, on behalf of the Erode branch of SIRC of ICAI Managing Committee and all the members, I heartfully welcome the today's speaker, Mr. Dr. C. Abhishek Murali, and all the participants and senior members to this meeting. With this, I request our immediate part chairman and SICASA chairman at present, Mr. Balamurugan, to introduce our speaker.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. It's my proud privilege to introduce today's our resource person. He is Dr. C. Abhishek Murali. He is a practicing chartered accountant in the name of Victor Grace & Co. Chartered Accountants. He is also Regional Council member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for the year 2021. He also All India first rank holder in CAMA strategy examination and All India 17th rank in CAMA final examination. He also secured All India 5th rank in International Taxation ADIT conducted in CIT. He is youngest Regional Council member of SIRC of ICAI. He also expert in direct taxation, international taxation, litigation and appeals, valuation, due diligence, mergers, acquisitions. He also organized and spoke at more than 1,500 seminars, workshops and conferences. He is felicitated with the Gold Star Award by Padma Shri Dr. Mailsami Annadurai, Director ISRO Satellite Center, for addressing more than 500 seminars during COVID period alone. Dr. C. Abhishek Murali also received the Abraham Lincoln Excellence Award from International Peace Council, USA, for his excellence of tax sector and laudable contribution reviewed by addressing more than 500 seminars during the COVID period. He is also a member of Committee for Implementation and Survey of Faceless Assessment and Faceless Appeal Proceeding constituted by Ministry of Finance, Government of India. He is also is a non-academic member of Board of Studies of Madras University. He is, we know very well, he is also regularly appears in national and regional television channels, contribute to articles and professional interest in various newspaper and journals. In few positions in which I have to read, Dr. Abhishek Murali is nominated in the following committee constituted by ICAI, Corporate Laws and Corporate Governance Committee, ICAI, New Delhi, Corporate Laws and Corporate Governance Committee, ICAI, New Delhi for the year 2014-15, as well as Professional Development Committee of ICAI, New Delhi, Research Committee of ICAI, New Delhi, Technical, as a technical reviewer. And also he hold a lot of positions in our SIRC level. I have read few one. Chairman of Committee for Direct Taxes, International Tax and SIRC of ICAI for the 2021, as well as Public Relations Committee as a chairman is SIRC of ICAI for 2021. Chairman of Committee for Members of Industry and Business for the year 2021. In this few introduction is a lot of qualification is there. We very know. With the few introduction, I have welcome our today's session speaker, Dr. Abhishek Murali sir, for our today's CPE seminar. Abhishek sir, floor is yours.
Thank you very much. A very, very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. Chairman of the Erode branch, the dynamic CA is Hari Kesavan sir, Secretary CA Santosh Kumar sir, and my good friend who very kindly introduced me, CS Balamurugan sir. In fact, he had contacted me and told me he urgently needs to travel. So he'll be able to join through his phone only, but still, despite that, he has taken time out to introduce me. So kind of you. Thank you so much, Balamurugan sir. And a very, very warm good evening to all the participants who have joined in for today's program. So today's session is most important session because at this point of time, we would have all been very, very busy filing the return of income. So even though due dates are extended, all your clients must be calling you, sir, return we have to file, return we have to file, sir, can I come to your office, can I come? So there is a pressure on you to file the return, even though we know the website is a problem, so many developments, so many changes, forms, how you have to file has changed, incredible number of changes, but still life goes on. We must keep on filing the returns, clients are coming. So we have a duty to the assessee and to the government in this process. So my dear friends, today's topic, we are going to cover two specific issues. The first one being what are the major changes in the ITR form. As you know, every year ITR forms are changed. This year also ITR forms have changed. In fact, I must say very important changes are there. And second, the most critical aspect of income tax itself is the income tax portal. Launched originally 7th of June after taking down for 7 days. It has been more than 1 month now, and still it is not settled, my dear friends. Still so many aspects are there which are challenging. And I think as chartered accountants, every day we have to go to the website, see what new addition is there, what they have removed. Suddenly, when we are trying to file one form or a return, some error will come in the last minute. That form will not get saved. So many practical difficulty chartered accountants are facing, and every day some new development is happening. In fact, my dear friends, less than 1 hour back, I was with the principal commissioner who has specifically requested me give me the latest issues that are being faced by chartered accountants right now with the income tax website. Even though Infosys made so many changes, even though task force have given a lot of suggestions, naturally each CA, when you are doing your own work for your client, you will come across certain new issues. So they have asked me to present the same. So I request all of you, if you have any other challenges, any other issues, you can please message me. I will share my WhatsApp number. Leave me a message. I'll be more than happy to take that up as well after the session finishes. So in the course of the session, I'll be giving you the most latest developments. Even with the discussion that I had today, I will be sharing you what are the most recent developments on the income tax side and the income tax portal side. So firstly, let us get started, my dear friends, on the important aspects with the changes in the filing of the forms. There are the two critical things we have to consider, my dear friends, when it comes to changing the forms. Hello?
Yes,
There are two, some disturbance cases. So there are two critical aspects that we have to consider when it comes to changing the ITR forms. One, of course, is naturally the forms itself. And second, more importantly, my dear friends, there are certain circumstances surrounding around the income tax which will impact how you need to plan the filing for your clients and for the taxpayer. What do I mean by that? Now let us take those two critical developments that have happened now, which was not there last year when you were filing for your clients. The first thing is last year in July, the CBDT and the CBIC, they shared an agreement sharing form. Some of you may have seen it for your tax audit clients, because for whoever you filed after October and November, you would have seen that for them in the 26 AS now, you will get the details of the turnover as per the GST returns. The total as per the GST returns will now get presented. Why this is important? Now, some of you may be feeling, so what, anyway, it will tally. I remember a very, very funny instance. During my very, very early days in my articleship, there was one engagement where I was going for an audit. I request all participants just please mute your microphone, because I think some feedback is coming which is disturbing the other participants. Thank you very much. So during that audit, I still remember I was auditing some figures and I said, sir, sales is not tallying with whatever you have given in the income tax records, whatever financials you have given me. These books, this ledger is not tallying. He said, what you're looking at? I said, sir, this is what you have given me, your staff has given me. He said, sir, and the indirect tax records, you please give him what is direct tax financials. I said, sir, what is direct tax financials? What is indirect tax financials? He said, no, we usually keep two separate financials. This year, we are advised by one agent who came and told us VAT authorities apparently don't look at the income tax financials. Income tax authorities don't look at VAT records. So we have two different sets, we give to different authorities. So it is only at the time that we came to know this, that this was pointed out as an audit observation and we took it up. But till then, they said that they are maintaining two separate books of accounts like this. And it may sound funny, but especially in the North, my dear friends, it is a very, very rampant practice which is there, where two sets of books are maintained, one for indirect tax authorities, one for direct tax authorities. Now, with the introduction of technology, sharing of information is easier, because earlier, even if your income tax commissioner, he writes to an indirect tax commissioner, nobody will respond. By the time that notice is taken in the desk of that person, by the time it comes to that indirect tax authority's desk, that time order would have been passed in income tax. So no point in looking at it. So this is what used to happen before, but now with this latest agreement in your 26 AS itself, all the details of your turnover as per GST will come. So it is a impetus. Once again, you should not try to show a reduced figure, different figure. You should ensure that the numbers are matching. If there is any difference, and some of you may have come across this, where the turnover as per the GST records in the 26 AS form may be incorrect. Maybe some of you have come across. How many of you have come across? So when you have come across this, you may be wondering, 26 AS is showing GST records wrong. Actually, what I have given is different. Here they are showing a higher figure. Please ensure you prepare a reconciliation, my dear friends. 6 months later, 7 months later, after you file the return, it will be taken up for scrutiny or processing. At that stage, at least you need not check, because anyway, when you are filing, you would have checked the GST records, or maybe you yourself filed the GST returns. So you will be familiar with the numbers. So ensure you check the same, you tally the same, prepare a reconciliation so that you will be able to respond to any notices that are coming. But the ultimate point is ensure the numbers are uniform. Ensure the numbers are uniform. The second key development that you have to keep in mind when you are filing the returns is an important development with sharing of information with the income tax by the banks. How many of you remember 31st March this year? Extended date of return filing was about to expire. Your revised return, belated return due date is about to expire. On 30th of March, your clients got number of notices. We have got information in our compliance portal that you have earned so much income and you have not offered that in the return of income. Please immediately justify why. On 30th of March, 1 day time you have. You have to tell your client has to check and confirm to you. Once he confirms to you, you have to go and update the records. Once you update the records, you have to file the revised return of income or belated return. In 1 day's time for all your clients, it seems you have to do this procedure. That is what was happening. This is really, I am not giving a hypothetical scenario. You must have all faced this on 30th of March when the compliance portal raised the issue. My dear friends, now the compliance portal is tracking everything. The banks are giving all the information about SSE. Earlier, we used to think beyond one level, more than 50,000 only they will share if the interest is there. More than 1 lakh only it will get reported. Like that, we had a misconception. And practically also, if I get 500 rupees as my savings bank interest, does it make sense for income tax to go to the bank, find out what is my interest? It does not be cost effective. Now, once again, as per this fact that you are seeing on the screen, my dear, as per this record, as per the records that you are seeing on your screen, now it is compulsory for every person has to mandatorily, they will be submitting, the banks will be submitting voluntarily to the income tax what is the savings bank interest earned, what is the FD interest earned, any other deposits that the assessee has in that bank. Suppose you have a PPF account, the interest rates as per that. All of these details will now be recorded and shared, and it is uploaded now on the compliance portal. Some of it is wrong. I am not saying it is correct. For one assessee, the bank has uploaded saying he has earned the interest. This came on 30th of March. He got a notice. As a client called me, he said, Abhishek, they said that I have earned the interest of 75 lakhs during the year and I have not offered. I said, sir, why you have earned 75 lakh interest? You should have disclosed to me. He said, I don't have 75 lakhs interest. That is my FD balance that he is talking about. But bank has reported it to them as if it is interest. So he said, no problem, Abhishek, I will pay the tax, but I will write to the bank saying, if 75 lakhs is my interest, then whatever should be the principal you have to return to me, then I'm happy to pay the 30% tax. This is of course on the lighter side, but the fact remains that banks are reporting, sometimes incorrectly, sometimes correctly, but it is getting reported. Various salaried assessees, more commonly I have seen in salaried assessees, business persons and little who are having regular transactions like capital gains, etc. Normally this issue I don't come across, but in salaried person, normally what they will do, form 16, whatever is there, just to copy paste to file as per form 16. So many income tax practitioners, so many people who work in large companies, this is how they will do. They'll ask for form 16, as per form 16 they'll file. They'll not even check whether that salaried person has a house property, whether he's getting rental income, whether he has fixed deposit, nothing, not even looking at 26 years, like that they used to file the return of income. Now, all those people are going to be caught. All their savings back. If you have a salary account where you're getting your salary, naturally, at least 1 rupee savings bank interest you'll be getting quarterly. So therefore, 100% you have to report the savings bank interest. If you're not reporting, don't worry, my dear friends, you will be caught. You will get notices. So this is an important aspect for us to consider. For your salaried persons, please advise them to share all the details of their bank accounts. Some clients, they may share with you 2 bank accounts, but they'll have 6 bank accounts. Some people will say that, sir, I have only 1 account, but they'll have 3 or 4. These are very, very common stories that we have come across. Suddenly, when they get a notice, they'll say, sir, sir, how can I tell? You didn't ask for it. How can I share it with you? You should have asked for it. How we will know that they have 6 bank accounts? But now income tax will know. So therefore, we should also know, which means please ask your clients to share the entire bank details, savings bank interest, post office, any other deposits that they have. Ensure whether TDS is getting deducted or not. We must admit and disclose and file the same in the return of income, because the notices will come otherwise, and we will have to definitely respond to all of them. So these are the 2 most critical developments which are there, which is going to impact your IT return file. Now, let me ask the first question. We are all been filing return of income for so many years now. And the format was Excel format. We had very nice, smooth Excel format. Then subsequently, a few years back, they brought a Java format, which was very good. In fact, the Java format of the income tax website itself was very, very good utility and was functioning very smoothly. Wonderfully, things were going through. This year, we are all aware, they changed from TCS to Infosys, 4,000 crore contract, 1 month over, so many problems. Now, under this latest income tax website, gone is the Java form, gone is the Excel utility. Instead, they have brought something known as the JSON utility form, JSON form. Like how in the GST website, they are doing for your GST returns and your GST audit. They have said, now we are going to bring a JSON form in income tax also. So whether this JSON form is going to impact you. In fact, the Honorable Finance Minister in the budget address itself announced it, saying that this year is going to be such that the income tax website will be simplified to the extent where the assessee himself can file the return of income. You need not go to a professional. You yourself can file the return of income. So therefore, that asked the question, I was wondering, sir, how are they going to change the form? So much they are announcing. Is there major changes in the form? So is the filing this year going to be very different from what we have been doing before? My dear friends, here only I want to give you the comfort. Don't worry. Do not worry. The forms are very different. The returns filing style is little different. But ultimately, the content which is there is the same content that was there before. There is no impact on that. So as a chartered accountant, you will find that whatever format you are familiar with has changed. It looks little different, but the content is still the same. So whenever somebody says that, oh, so many changes that they've made from Java to JSON, they have reported Excel and all, don't get scared. Ultimately, whatever details you needed before only, you have to collect now. So if you have been collecting that details adequate for so many years, do not worry, my dear friends, same thing will be enough for you to file the returns this year. It's just the presentation style is slightly different, but the warehouse is still the same. So front shop looks different, but behind the warehouse is still the same. So don't worry. The first thing I want to give you comfort, any salaried person wants to file also this year also, they will have to come to you only. It is not that simple that they themselves can file the return of income. So let us start with the first thing. What are the purpose of the ITR forms? There's not much change here. There is only one major change which has come in the purpose of the ITR forms. As you're all aware, ITR 1 is meant for a resident person other than a not ordinarily resident. That means a non-resident or a NOR cannot file ITR 1. So it is meant only for a resident and an ordinarily resident having total income up to 50 lakhs, having income from salaries, one house property, note that point, and other sources, and agricultural income up to 5,000. Now the critical point here, why I highlighted one house property is, I'll give you an example. Many, in fact, appeal cases I handle, in fact, from Erode and Coimbatore and Salem as well. Many of you are, your cases we have been discussing this aspect, where when you are filing a return of income, let us take a scenario. An assessee has 2 house properties. One house property is self-occupied. I myself am living in that house property. Second house property, I have let it out. When I'm filing the return of income, I want to file under ITR 1. Why? Because it is simple. Vanilla return. I don't have anything else. I'm getting rental income. I'm living happily. And effectively, one house property is self-occupied, so value is nil. So as long as I'm disclosing whatever I'm getting rental income, I'm not avoiding tax. I am not defrauding the income tax. I am filing whatever is my actual income gets disclosed. It is getting processed. So ITR 1 I will file. I will say one house property, whatever, I will let it out and getting rent. That property I will disclose and I will file my return. Is it matching with my gross total income? Yes. Taxable income? Yes. Tax paid? Yes. Everything matches. But still, it is a default return because specifically ITR 1 says you should have only one house property. So the moment you have two house properties, you have to go to ITR 2. Even if the numbers are not different, it is not making impact on the profit. It's not making impact on your income. So therefore, even despite that, you must file through ITR 2. My dear friends, I'll tell you why this is important. There's no need to spend so much time on this, but I will tell you why it is important. Because this year the income tax is being ruthless. They have said we will start treating returns as invalid. We will give you 30 days time to correct. If you don't correct in the 30 days, 15 to 30 days time, we will treat the return as invalid and we will debunk it as if you have not filed the return at all. So therefore, it is going to be ruthless. Till now, there was a little bit discretion. They used to say ultimately, okay, anyway, CPC is processing. They will not go into these details. Now they are getting information from everywhere. Your tenant will give the information. From sub-registrar, they're getting the information of who is the owner of the house. So all of these details, electricity bill, so many details they have started collecting now. So be very, very careful, my dear friends, and ensure that because of these small aspects, the return is not treated as invalid. Now, the second critical aspect here, who else cannot file ITR 1? If I'm a director of a company, chartered accountants can be independent directors of companies. So if I'm a director of a company, it's saying I cannot file ITR 1. Sir, I am getting only salary income. I don't even have a house property. I don't make any investments, or I don't have income from others. Just because I'm a director, I cannot file ITR 1 even if I satisfy everything else. So if you're a director in any company, in any form, please remember they are checking now with MCA. Ensure you file ITR 2. You cannot file ITR 1. Other thing they have said, if you hold even one unlisted share, listed shares they have not brought into this. But if you hold any one single unlisted share in any company, you cannot file ITR 1. Many salaried persons, when they join the job, if it is not a big company, they are given a ESOP. So they are given a share in a company. So they'll get share in whatever company they are joining. These persons normally ITR 1 only they file, but it is most likely unlisted company. So the moment it is unlisted company, you have even one share, you cannot file ITR 1, my dear friends. You have to file ITR 2 or 3, whatever is applicable to you, because they are expecting you now to disclose the details of what share you're holding, when you purchased it, what price you purchased it, what is the name of the share, all these details. Have you sold anything during the year? All of these you have to disclose while filing the return of income itself. So to that extent, they have gone. Now, the final major change in ITR 1, my dear friends, is section 194N. What is section 194N? 194N was a new TDS form bought for cash withdrawals. They wanted to bring TDS on people who are withdrawing cash. So if I'm a person who's regularly filing my return of income and I withdraw cash from the bank of rupees 1 crore or more, then 194N will become applicable and TDS will be deducted at a nominal rate. Then they are saying if you don't file the return of income, that limit becomes 20 lakhs. So non-filers of return of income, if your cash withdrawal crosses 20 lakhs in the year, then 194N TDS will be deducted, my dear friends. And this is not only for banks. They have said cooperative banks, even post office, if you are making withdrawals, ensure that the TDS should be deducted, has been perfectly intimated to all the authorities. So now if there's any TDS deducted under 194N, please note you cannot file 190, you cannot file ITR 1. Very, very clear they have made. If there's any even 1 rupee deduction is there in your 194N, then my dear friends, you cannot file ITR 1. It has to be filed in a different ITR. So any client of yours by mistake, instead of selecting 194J, they are selecting 194N, or instead of selecting 192, they have selected 194N, then forget it, that person cannot file ITR 1. He has to file ITR 2 or 3 only. It's unfortunate, but that's what they have said. And not only that, they have brought a rule saying wherever there is TDS under section 194N, it cannot be carried forward. You'll all be aware, a few years back, carry forward of TDS was enabled on the income tax filing portal. So whenever I'm filing the return, I can show what is the TDS for the year. I can show till what extent I am adjusting the TDS, and balance I can carry it forward. Under 194N, they have made it very clear. You cannot carry it forward. If you want, you adjust and take a refund and go, but you cannot carry it forward. So on cash withdrawal, they brought a very, very strict rule saying any 194N ITR 1 is simply straightforward, not applicable for you. Similarly, if you have any winnings from house property, winnings from lottery, horse racing, in all of these cases, you cannot file ITR 1. So beyond this, the forms have not changed much. It is the same. ITR 2 is for persons who are not subject to ITR 1 and do not have business income. ITR 3, if you have any business income, you have to file in ITR 3. ITR 4 is for presumptive basis. ITR 5 is for firm, LLP, etc. 6 is for companies, and 7 is for trusts, etc. So those changes are not there. The significant changes are only in ITR 1. Now, this is the website. I just took a screenshot from the website today when I tried to file a return of income before I came to the program, because the income tax website, really, it is like the stock market. If you don't look at it for more than 1 hour, suddenly it will jump up, suddenly it will start falling down, new features will be introduced, tomorrow suddenly 3-4 features will be taken away. So I wanted to ensure before my presentation it is up to date. So I tried to pre-fill the form for a company. So the first thing, when you log in, you try to file the return of income. It will ask you to fill what is the nature of the person that you are. So what is the status of the entity? So you have to select individual, HUF, or others. When you select others, you get a list, as you can see in the screen above. Company, association of person, LLP, local authority, partnership firm, and body of individuals. Now, if you can see here, only that partnership firm, it is highlighted. All the others are little gray in color. So you might assume that means it is a partnership firm. No, my dear friends, it is a company. If you want to file the return of income for a company, AOP, LLP, today you cannot file. It is not available. So if you want to file the return of income today, you can file only for an individual, HUF, or a partnership firm. Even LLP, you cannot file the return of income, my dear friends. I request participants, please mute. Somebody is unmuted. I think it's causing some disturbance. I'm just muting all for the benefit of the participants. Okay. So as I was saying, you can see over here, if you want to file return for individual, HUF, partnership, today you can file only for those 3 people. For the others, the form is still not available. Return filing date extended only up to a certain point. TDS returns are still not filed for so many people. Q4 details is not updated on 26A still. So there is a lot of pending areas in terms of filing the return of income itself, even basic things like this. Of course, last year, a 7th proviso was introduced. This is not something which is new to this year, but this is an important aspect for all to consider. If you are filing a return of income regularly because you cross the basic exemption limit, don't worry, straight away you can file the return of income. This provision is not very, very important to you. But the very, very aspect that so many assessees are there who don't file the return of income is a reality as far as income tax is concerned. So now they have brought in a provision, expense-based provisions. Normally, all the income tax provisions are income-based. If you cross so much limit, you have to file the return. If you cross so much limit, you have to pay advance tax. If you cross so much limit, if it's enough, if you pay self-assessment tax. So it is all limit, which is income-based, that defines your income taxation and filing the return of income. This seventh proviso has now brought a expense-based filing of the return of income. So expense tax, only income tax. Now they're saying expense also you have to look. So therefore, if I am an assessee who has deposited an aggregate amount of 1 crore or more in current accounts, then I have to file the return of income, even if I don't cross the basic exemption threshold. Then they have also said, sir, have you incurred an expenditure of rupees 1 lakh or more in consumption of electricity during the previous year? If you have incurred this, then you have to file the return of income. My dear friends, last 2 years, everybody is sitting at home because of multiple lockdowns, coronavirus, so many issues are there, entire families at home. 100% electricity bill would have gone somewhere for most people. So 1 lakh is not a very big sum when it comes to electricity for the entire year for a family living in one house. It is very, very a reasonable amount. So almost all assessees will trigger this point. And one more question I can ask. Are they saying 1 lakh per house? Are they saying, have you incurred expenditure aggregating amount of rupees 1 lakh or more on consumption of electricity during the previous year? So does that mean I have 4 houses? Should I see each individual house or should I see in aggregate? My dear friends, they're saying you have to see in aggregate. It is not each house. All your houses put together, if you're crossing 1 lakh, then straight away you're triggering this condition. Let us take another scenario. I'm a non-resident. I'm working, I'm an IT professional. I'm working in the US. My family is in India. I have senior citizen aged parents who are living in India. So I'm paying the electricity bill for them from the US. So I say, you give me your TNEB details. I will make the payment online. So I am making the payment for my parents. My dear friends, tell me now, who has to file the return of income? Have you incurred an expenditure of an amount of rupees 1 lakh or more on consumption of electricity? I am a resident who is in US. The house is registered in my mother's name. Who has to file the return of income? 1 lakh more paid. Neither of us have crossed the basic exemption limit. I am not even a resident. My mother is a retired person. She is sitting at home. So now who will have to pay the electricity bill? I am paying the electricity bill, but who has to file the return of income? Vagueness. Is it the person who's owning the house or is it the person who's paying the bill? Now, my dear friends, we will come to the second point. Deliberately after the first, I went to the third. Because to answer this question, let us read the second point. Have you incurred any expenditure of an amount of aggregating an amount of rupees 2 lakhs or more on travel to a foreign country for either for yourself or any other person? So here they have made it clear, saying if you are incurring for yourself or any other person also, you can disclose over here. So I am booking tickets for me and my wife and my children. All 3 of them have not earned any income. They are not filing the return of income. But I am the one who incurred the expenditure. Means if it is more than 2 lakhs, then I have to file the return of income, even though I'm paying for them. Even if I'm not traveling, I am paying for their travel abroad. Then I have to file the return of income because it crosses 2 lakhs. But when this logic is there, it is not clear when it comes to electricity. So therefore, there is some confusion here. It is highly possible tomorrow income tax will come and say, sir, you have paid the electricity bill in the US, but do you know that you have to file the return of income in India because you have paid on behalf of somebody else? So this is going to be a gray area. Be little careful. In general, advise all your clients to file the return of income, even if they are non-resident. If they have any ties to India, I would always advise it is better for them to file the return of income. Better to disclose in, get it finished with than to deal with penalties and challenges later on. Now, this screenshot that you see on the screen over here is exactly how the ITR form looks. Now, they are going to ask the moment you log in. I showed you they ask that whether you're an individual, HUF, etc. Next, they ask questions on exemptions and deductions. This is the first thing. Straight away, once you go inside, they are asking questions on exemptions and deductions. So they are asking questions like how you can see on the screen. Are you eligible to claim expenditure on travel? Of course, you have to select whether you are claiming under the new regime, 115 BAC, or whether you are doing the old regime. So if you are doing the old regime, you have access to certain additional exemptions and deductions. So say, are you eligible to claim exemption under leave travel allowance? You have to select yes, then you have to fill in the amount. If you put yes, one box will come for you to fill in the amount. Are you eligible to claim HRA or hostel allowance, children education allowance? If you put yes, you can fill it in the box. Similarly, all the common exemptions will come over here. Are you eligible? Yes or no? And you can fill it up. Then if you press the next page, it will take you to deductions. It will say, are you eligible to ATC? Are you eligible for ATT? Please put the details. Once you put yes, yes, that box will open and you have to fill it up. They are ultimately the purpose of this entire change. That is what is very, very shocking. If the purpose of this entire change of the income tax portal is meant exclusively for salaried persons. All the good changes that have come in the income tax portal only benefiting salaried. Why? The department and government want them to file their return of income themselves. So they are making it simple. They are trying to ask questions. You put yes or no. Once you put yes, then you can fill in the number. So they are saying instead of going through the full form, understanding each section, we'll ask you straightforward like this. You just put yes and you fill in the number. We will allow your refund to be issued in less than 3-4 hours. That is what the department have said. This year, refunds will be issued in less than 6 hours in simple cases. So these sort of cases are there. As I told you, now you have 115 BAC, and this is very important in terms of your preparation of the computation statement and memo also, my dear friends. All of you will be giving your clients a computation statement or what you may call a memo. When you are doing this, please note you have to also do a consequent calculation under the new regime. The new income tax regime has some reduced tax rate. They have a different slab structure. They have brought from earlier 3 slabs were there under the existing regime. The new regime has 7 slab structures and they have different slabs, different rates of tax. And in many assessees, it is beneficial. Initially, there was a thought that it is not very beneficial, but if you do the calculation, it may benefit maybe 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, but it is still beneficial to many assessees. So therefore, why this is important, I will tell you, my dear friends, is because if you select this new regime, you have a new form that needs to be filled. You have a new form called Form 10IE. Any assessee who is selecting the new income tax regime under section 115 BAC has to file Form 10IE. So it is a compulsory form. If you are a business person, only once in a lifetime you can switch it to the new regime and back to the old regime. But salaried persons, every year also they can change from the new regime to old regime. But business people, only once in a lifetime. So therefore, what is this form? What does it look like? How do I file it? Once you have filed the return of income for your assessee, immediately log into the income tax portal, go to file income tax forms, select the income tax forms. There are 2 pictures here. The left hand side, what you see is the name of the form, how it is displayed on the new website. So it will say determination of tax in certain special cases, Form 10IE. Please click on file now over here. Please click on file now, and then it will take you to the screen that you see on the right hand side. So these details are sought from the assessee when you file this Form 10IE. It is very, very straightforward details. It is assessing officer details, basic information, additional information, and verification. Most of this will get pre-filled. So it is not a big form. It is more a compliance form that you are basically communicating to the income tax so that nobody says, oh, by mistake, I clicked 115 BAC, sir. Actually, I meant to click that. Form was confusing, so I pressed one button by mistake. Many people will say that when they get a notice. So in order to avoid that, they said you're putting a new form so that you cannot dispute. You cannot dispute it by saying, by mistake, I selected. Because if you don't file this Form 10IE, you will not get the new exemption rate, new regime rate. So you will go to the old regime. So if you want to enjoy the new regime, Form 10IE is 100% compulsory. It's a very, very simple form. You just have to fill it online and submit it. Most of it will be pre-filled information. Now there's interesting when it comes to capital gains. Again, they have tried to simplify this capital gains over here. Why they have simplified? Now this new capital gains, the form that you can see, they ask, what are the different type of capital assets do you have? They are giving a long list. Please see on the right hand side of the screen. Look at that list. Land or building or both, equity shares or mutual funds under section 111A. If it is long term in nature, whether it's covered under 112A. For any other listed securities, any sale of shares or debentures of an Indian company which is unlisted. So you have a long line of items over here. If you'll have a tick box next to it. You have to tick whatever is applicable for you, my dear friends. The reason I will tell you, all of you are familiar with the capital gains schedule, which was there in the old forms in the Java utility or the Excel statement. It was a very, very long sheet. It will start from the top, it will go all the way to the bottom. In between, there will be some compulsory tabs that you have to select. So very often, even professionals like us who are doing it on a day-to-day basis, there are certain tabs we used to miss. Only at the time of filing the return, suddenly an error will come. Capital gain sheet is incomplete. You have to select this option. That time only we will go and select that tab and we will go. It will be something simple which will have no repercussions. But the form was designed in such manner. Now they have said, you select whatever you have sold, you select over here. Only that portion we will disclose to you. So if I select land and building, only whatever portions are relevant for a sale of land and building will come. So reinvestment under 54F will come. Whatever sale cost of acquisition it will ask. It will not take you to the 112A schedule that you have to fill in case you are selling a listed share. Similarly, if I am selling a listed share, I have to select only equity share under section 112A. It will take me only to those pages. I don't have to look at 54F. I don't have to look at other related documents such as what is the guideline value as on so and so date of sale. All those details I don't have to look at. So simply select what is the asset that you have sold. That will pop up for you to fill up. You just have to simply fill up that portion. You don't have to go through the entire complex capital gain sheet, which was there before. So this is definitely a good step. They are simplifying it. It is not only for the benefit of associate. I think even as a chartered accountant, it helps to avoid going through such a complex form that was there before for the capital gains. Now, when it comes to income from other sources, there is one more interesting change that they've brought. You see that I told you there's a very complex capital gain sheet. How many of you remember the bottom of that capital gain sheet? Right when you scroll all the way to the bottom of that capital gains sheet, there used to be a breakup. How much short-term capital gains, long-term, under this section, you have to give the quarterly breakup. So it's very, very challenging for some persons because they would have sold, traded in so many shares. So you have to get the quarterly breakup. Now here, now for income from other sources, they want you to give a quarterly breakup again. So dividend income, interest income, your way by winnings by lottery, etc. So even your income from other sources, you have to now give a quarterly breakup, my dear friends, in the new form. So ensure when you are calculating the dividend income for the associate or you're getting a statement, you are able to get it with the quarterly breakup because it will have a bearing on the interest. So your disclosure and interest details will have a bearing over here. Now coming again to income from house property. Now where there is any carry forward of loss or bringing forward of loss in house property, please note you cannot file it anymore in ITR 1. It has to be filed in either ITR 2 or ITR 3 only. You cannot file ITR 1. Similarly, if there is any co-ownership, there are two owners for the house property. Husband and wife are the owners. Both of them self-occupied only in the property. No other income they have. They have said if there is any co-ownership, you can no longer file ITR 1. It has to be filed in either ITR 2 or ITR 3. You may wonder, anyway, no income, nothing, why I should do it? You have to still do it, my dear friends. It's mandatorily required. Similarly, if let us take a scenario, I'm a normal regular tax-paying assessee and my income goes beyond the basic exemption limit and I have to file my return of income. I have only a single house. It's a self-occupied house. I'm a co-owner with my wife. My wife this year, no income she has. Nothing income. She's quit her job. She's just sitting at home. So she does not have any income. So in this scenario, I have to file my return of income and I will file ITR 2 because co-ownership, etc. I will file. Does my wife also have to file a return of income over here? Simply because she is a co-owner. So please note it is not required because she is not crossing the basic exemption limit. It is not required. But then again, adequate precaution, advise them to file so that you can avoid getting a notice and responding to the notice. If they are ready to do that, no problem. They have not committed any offense. They are very much within the line, even though return is not filed. But because of the way the system operates, it is advisable for the wife also to file a return of income over here. As I told you at the start of the program, you can see this form. These are the details they need you to submit on your directorship. name of company, what is the type of the company, is it private, public, what is your PAN number, what is the company's PAN number, whether the shares are listed or not, what is the other details of that share, what is the share registration number. All these details have to be provided. Similarly, if you are a director also, you have to give all these details to the company, so to the income tax about the company. Of course, you're all aware now there's a new provision. If your cash receipts and payments are less than 5%, then you can take the increased tax audit limit. So therefore, that also they have introduced. The screenshot you see is from the old form, because the new form, as I told you, for ITR 3 is not available. If you want to file ITR 3 for a business assessee today, you cannot file because ITR 3 is not there. Only ITR 1, ITR 2 and ITR 4 is available. So ITR 3 you want to file today, sorry my dear friends, you cannot file it as of now. Maybe during the program they have introduced, but shortly before the program from when I tried, it was not available. For business persons, return could not be filed. As I told you, tax option scheme, reduce the shareholding. Now this one is a very, very interesting. Now the section 112A, many of us had many challenges, and where they have to give entire details, each name of the share that you have traded, the script name, ISIN code, what is the highest value as on 31st January 2018 when they brought that amendment in the budget. So all these details they brought about. And every time we had to file the return of income, we used to raise this issue. Please make it voluntarily. Don't make it a compulsory schedule. Last year, what they said is we are making compulsory this year, but from next year onwards, it will get pre-filled. That was what the finance ministry had communicated when I had met them. So they said, look, they gave me this news article. They said, we have signed an agreement with SEBI for sharing of information. I said, sir, if you're sharing the information, you yourself, please pre-fill the form for us. Because instead of saying after the finishing of the filing, you have not disclosed, you only can fill it and give it to us. If there's any mistake as a taxpayer, we will edit it. They said, yes, Abhishek, next year we are going to bring this facility. But so far, I tried it even today, this 112A schedule, it is not available, my dear friends. Whatever complex details was there before, I had to fill all these ISIN code, name of the script, sale price, what is the face value of the share, what is the value, highest value as on 31st January, what is my cost of acquisition, all those same details. Today also I have to fill in the new form, in the latest ITR 2 form. I tried all kinds of gimmicks trying to fill it, trying to do pre-filling. For 3-4 cases, I took it up. It's not happening. You have to still do it. It's a little bit more complex also now. At least earlier form, it was horizontal. It was easy for you to keep moving and doing it. The new form, this is what it looks like. So you have to fill in the ISIN code. At least earlier, when you fill in ISIN code, name of the share used to pre-fill. Now that is also not getting pre-filled. So here, for example, I put the ISIN code of Reliance RIL share price, but the name of the unit has not got filled. It is saying error, please enter the name. So this is how exactly it is currently. Maybe it will get better in the future weeks, but currently how the form is, it is still not very, very functional. Of course, they have said you can put it as a CSV template. You put it in Excel and you can just upload that form. But my dear friends, whether it is Excel or not, we have to still fill it. And it's a very, very time consuming task. For example, if someone you have an assessee who is dealt in more than 100 and 150 transactions, then the question arises, am I expected to transact to fill 150 line items one by one? Do I have to fill? Is it mandatory? My dear friends, for the current year, they have said it is absolutely mandatory. They have not removed it. And if you don't comply with section 112A, you don't fill it, even though your capital gains, everything tallies, they may issue a notice saying invalid return, you have not disclosed details, we will start penalty proceedings. So all kinds of things can happen. As it stands, 112A schedule is still mandatory. 112A schedule is still as complex as it was last year. It is as time consuming as it was last year. They have not enabled pre-filled despite the agreement, sharing agreement with SEBI, etc. So therefore, it remains to be seen. Hopefully, in the next upcoming weeks, they are able to enable it. If you have any foreign assets, now this is a very important one, because the current communication to the income tax department from the CBDT and finance ministry is to take a crackdown on the foreign assets. So any of your assessees, if they have any foreign assets in any form, be it shares, bank account, or any foreign asset, land or building or a house property they may have, ensure they disclose these details if they're a resident or are an OR assessee. Because if you are a non-resident, you don't have to worry about this. But if you are a resident, then it is your duty to disclose the details of your foreign assets now to the income tax department. And you know, if you don't disclose it, they can reopen the return up to 16 years also. Earlier, they had a limit of saying up to 6 years. Then they said no, up to 3 years. In exceptional scenarios, up to 10 years will reopen. But for foreign assets, they can reopen up to 16 years. There is no change there, my dear friends. So ensure these details are disclosed correctly. For a mere disclosure, they will reopen the issue. The 26 years now is like a passbook. My dear friends, this is very, very true. You may have seen in some cases that you have been filing, especially if you filed a belated return or a revised return last year. Before March, your 26 years suddenly started showing more and more information. So now the income tax as per 26 years, it is going to show where you are making cash deposits beyond a certain limit, where you are making cash payments for your credit card of more than 1 lakh in a year. If you are purchasing shares or mutual funds or debentures worth rupees 10 lakh or more, it will come in the 26 years. Where I'm trading in investing in any FD, that will also come in my 26 years. You may think it has come, interest has already come. But this is from a reporting point of view to check the sources, my dear friends. Now the government is no longer tackling the incomes. They are going for the expense side. They're going for the investment side. So where there is cash outflow, they are putting obligations on the other parties. So now brokers, mutual fund houses, your share houses, your banks, all of them have to comply with certain income tax protocol where they will give information about their clients. So about you, about your taxpayer, the information is being supplied by that party to the income tax. The assessee himself is not voluntarily coming and filing. How will they come to know? Now they'll come to know through the other party. So what they are saying is they are giving you an opportunity by featuring in the 26 years, by putting all these details, any forex, I'm getting any forex more than 10 lakhs during the year. I'm changing my currency. I'm doing forex changings of more than 10 lakhs. That will also get reported now. So they are saying, we have all this information about you. Tomorrow we'll come and ask you for the source. Don't come and say my grandmother gave a gift, I got inheritance. So ensure that you have your sources in order. You have your documentations in place. So where you're having all these items, be very careful. It is going to get reported in your 26 years. You will see more and more of that this year when you're filing the return of income. Now they have a very ambitious plan, especially with the expansion of this SFT. Now they are saying in next year, I think by the next 6 months, payment of educational fee of 1 lakh or more, electricity consumption of 1 lakh or more, any domestic or foreign travel in business class, or payment to hotels in excess of 20,000. All of these are now going to get reported. So there you can see they're tackling the expense side. Some assessees may make these payments in cash and they may not disclose it in the return of income. They may not even tell you who's the auditor of the assessee. They won't disclose it to you also. Now, my dear friends, it will get reported in their 26 years. It's going to come there and they will 100% say that if you have not filed it, please explain the sources of the same. Even if you have filed the return of income of late, the track record is they are going for reopening of cases, asking you to explain the sources. If you explain correctly, they are happy, they will close the reopening. But they have started the process of reopening in cases where there is non-reporting or not matching of the expense and the income side as per the return of income itself. So I think this is something I've been getting a lot of calls from CAs when they say is what to do when the transaction appears. I'm getting a SFT saying cash deposit. I'm getting a SFT reported in my 26 years saying so much is the credit card bill paid by cash. What should I do in such a scenario? Sir, you don't have to do anything. There's no reporting that you need to do because of this. Ensure that you have the sources in order. Because in case any scrutiny comes, in case any reopening of assessment is done, in those cases, you must be prepared with the explanation to tell them, this is the reason why you have this SFT. This is the reason why you made it. This is the source for the same. So as long as you have that information, that is enough. There is no separate reporting you need to do. In case anything comes as SFT under 26 years against your client, don't worry. That itself is not an issue. Later on, only when it comes for scrutiny or assessment, you can raise the questions to answer them. So my dear friends, I thought I will take this opportunity to also share how the income tax portal looks like. Because I saw 2 or 3 questions I have got. Has this form come out? You know, the most recent question I got, I think Jairam sir has asked, has Form 10A for registration of trust open on the portal? Sir, if it was opened, I will be the happiest person. Currently, it is still not active and they have not enabled it. Hopefully, they will enable it soon, but currently it is not enabled. So let me quickly share how the income tax filing will be done. First thing is I will show you the utility itself. I'm sure you must all have seen this income tax utility form. You have to download it from the income tax website. This is what the utility form looks like. So what you can see on the screen, once you log in or once you open that software, it is basically a software. This is the page that will open up and you have to click. So if you filled any draft, you will get the list of the draft returns here. If you have pre-filled any data, that will come over here. So let us assume we will take file returns and this is the next page you will get. So it will ask you want to download any pre-filled data, you want to import any pre-filled data, all these questions will come up. So let us assume we want to download pre-filled data. So you put download pre-filled data, you press continue. You will have to input the PAN of the assessee over here. Now I am just putting a random assessee for testing the same. So it will take you to the income tax website on this Java form itself. So in this form itself, it is taking you to the Java income tax, sorry, it is taking you to the income tax website in the JSON form. So you have to put your login details and your password, whatever is your password, please type it. And it will take you to the next page where it will show you the details of the assessee and what will get pre-filled. So you have to select, I don't know why this is there. Maybe they think that the status of the person will change because automatically from the PAN number itself, you can know what is the status of the person. But I don't know why this page is coming up, but it is asking you what is the status of the assessee. So let us assume in this case, the assessee is an individual. So we select individual, we press continue, and then it will ask you, you need to choose an ITR form to proceed. Now the left-hand side, you can say, help me decide which ITR form to file. If I'm a own salaried person, I'm not a professional, I don't know which form is applicable. So I put proceed, then it will ask me a set of questions. But if you know which ITR form, you can select on the right-hand side. Now, as I told you, you can see now ITR 1, ITR 2, and ITR 4 only is applicable. No other form is applicable. So let us select ITR 1 for this person, and we'll say proceed for the ITR 1 filing. So you get this page saying, let's get started. So once you get, let's get started, it will ask you. Remember, I told you 7th proviso, it will ask whether you are filing because you are beyond the exemption limit or because you are triggering the 7th proviso. Accordingly, you have to select the option, press continue, my dear friends. Once you press continue, look at this page over here. Now they have got a timer to show how fast you can file the return of income. There is a stopwatch you can see over here. So if you press, once you start filling, the stopwatch will start running and it will show you how long you're taking to file the return. So they will say, you have filed the return in less than 4 minutes, like that. So that's the entire purpose of this. So you have to merely click each button over here and you have to proceed in a sequential pattern. So first thing you see is the personal information of the assessee. So you have to fill up the personal information. It will pre-fill from what is already there for the assessee. You simply have to go check if the details are filled, whether bank is pre-validated, etc. And you press confirm. Now it is showing you have not updated because I have not selected which regime I want. So I'm selecting no. Then here it is asking for the bank details. I have to select the pre-validated accounts. Then I press confirm, I go to the next page. So it will show you that whatever you finished over here, it will say confirm with this green color tick will be there and it will say confirm. And then I have to click gross total income. When I click gross total income, it will take me to each head-wise details. So income from salary, income from house property, income from other sources. This is ITR 1, so you won't have any other heads other than these 3. So I have to click edit for each of them and I have to start filling the details. Now, even though I put pre-filled, all this has not got pre-filled, as you can see. In the old Java form, a lot of these details used to get pre-filled. Now here, this is not getting pre-filled as of now. Maybe later on, they will enable it. They have said we have pre-filled this from the form 16 wherever applicable. In this assessee's case, I actually have a form 16, but it has not got pre-filled. So I have to manually pre-fill it. So let us assume I'm just typing 5 lakhs. So I type 5 lakhs. Let's assume there is no exemption I'm claiming. and I'm putting save. It's become 4,50,000 because they have given me the 50,000 standard deduction, and I'm putting save over here for this SSC. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Have you got any income? So it is said income from salary is filled. They're happy. Income from house property, let us assume he has nothing. And income from other sources, it asked me a question like this. Remember, I showed you that question and answer format. That same question and answer format they are having here. Do you have any interest from savings bank account? If I put yes, I have to fill it up. So let us assume I'm putting 1,000 is the interest from the savings bank account here. Do you have any interest from banks or post office? Please look at this. Very, very interesting, because people who had post office deposits, they used to not report it very, very often, because they'll say, who will report post office? They don't have any track of it. My dear friends, now they are pointedly asking you, do you have any post office deposit or any interest that you're getting? You have to fill it up over here. So let us assume I'm putting 100. Do you have any income from family pension? If you put yes, naturally that box will open and automatically the 57 deduction will be calculated over here. My dear friends, any other dividend income? So as I told you, dividend income, if you fill, it is asking for the quarterly breakup. You can see the quarterly breakup they're asking over here. So I'm going to select no, and I'm going to press continue, my dear friends. So now suddenly my entire income details is been filled. If I have any exempt income, they're asking me to disclose over here. You have a long list of things. What are the specific ones, followed by any other exemptions that you are claiming? You can click over here and press continue or add. In this assessee's case, I don't have anything, so I'm not claiming. So I put confirm, and I come back to that main page where now it is showing personal information confirmed, gross total income confirmed. Now I click on deductions. Again in deductions, question and answer section. Are you eligible? Yes or no. If I'm eligible, if I put yes, I have to fill the amount over here. Similarly, are you eligible for ATC, ATD, etc.? Lots of items like this, it is showing line by line. And once you fill it, you press continue, automatically it's going to get filled over here. By pressing confirm. And now my personal information is filled, my gross total income is filled, my total deductions is filled, and the tax paid gets pre-filled. Now in this assessee's case, 10,000 was paid. So that has got correctly pre-filled over here. Even though it is pre-filled, it is asking me to go in and press confirm. So it wants my confirmation even though it is pre-filled. So once I confirm, then we come to the total tax liability portion of it. Now total tax liability here, it will show you the calculation. What is your gross total income, how the tax is calculated. So in this case, they're saying the rebate under 87A is covering the entire tax, and less whatever tax is paid. So it will calculate my entire refund over here. So all my 4 things are confirmed. I press proceed. I can go preview my return over here. So it will show you the preview return. And if you want, you can fill the return over here for the assessee, print it out, you can show it to him, and you can go back to file the return of income over there. Obviously, this is only a demo, so I'm not filing the return for the assessee, but that is how the entire ITR form is structured. I hope now you all have clarity as to how this new, the income tax form, the JSON form is going to be operating. Of course, the other aspect is the income tax website itself. Most of you are familiar with it, but I'll still cover certain critical aspects or critical changes which have happened in the website. One is updating the profile. Now, this is a representation we are making today. And once again, I am sharing my number in the chat box so that any of you will be having any issues that you're facing, any challenges, please immediately send it to me in WhatsApp with your name or your membership number or whatever issue you're facing. Because I am having a meeting today with the Principal Commissioner on this matter. We are discussing what are the latest issues which has happened in the income tax website. So this is one of the issues. Now, when you log into the website itself, the first thing it is asking you is to complete the profile. Now, even the old website used to have, whenever you used to log in, it will put pop-up box will come saying profile, update your contact details, update your address. All of us used to press skip and we will start doing whatever work we are doing. Now, this new website, they have said, you have to update the contact details, you have to update the profile details, because if you don't update the profile details, then you are not eligible to these following services. Look at this for the services. Condonation request, downloading pre-filled XML, registering as a representative, register to act on behalf of another person, authorize another person as a representative assessee. So they have said, unless you do all this, you will not get these following services. Now this pre-filled services is working. I have tried that out for a person where the profile is incomplete, it is working. But registering as a representative is not working, and I'll tell you why this is the issue, my dear friends. Today, in the old website, I have registered for an assessee as a legal heir. Assessee's parents are expired, and that assessee is now the legal heir. He is taking charge of all the e-proceedings for them. There have been notices issued, and those cases are being handled in the name of the son of these deceased assessees. Now, my dear friends, I am getting notices saying reopening notice has been issued. We are taking action, demand notice is being shared. So in these sort of cases, I need to be able to respond to them. But I am not able to respond. My representative assessee option is not visible anywhere, and I'm unable to respond at all. So I'm logging into that assessee's login. It is showing that I am the representative assessee as a legal heir, but there is no way for me to select those deceased assessees. Very, very shocking thing. And since now e-proceeding has been enabled in the last week, notices have started being issued by the department, but I am unable to respond to the notices for these representative assessees, my dear friends. Like this, now this is an issue that I understand it was not raised before because people were not aware. Not many people file as a representative assessee, so they were not aware of this issue at all. So today it is being raised. So that is why I said similar to this, you may have a unique issue or a peculiar issue that you are facing. For example, Benami cases. Not many people are handling Benami cases. So when it gets reported to the government, Benami cases may get missed out. But as a person who's handling Benami cases, when you are filing that form, you will find that that form is not getting submitted. But no representation has gone saying that form is not working properly. Now, Form 10A is a very common form. Most chartered accountants, most assessees, they will file 10A. So now 10A is very obvious. That is the most obvious error. They have not enabled it. Similarly, 15CB, 15CA, these are very, very common issues. So it gets reported. But what about the other forms which are not so common? These also need to get reported. So that's my point. If you are a person who has got any of these unique cases or any other issue that you are facing which is not working, please feel free to raise it. We have to raise it to them only, then it will get resolved. So this profile, they are saying you need to complete it to avail all of these services, they are saying. So ensure to the extent possible, you get that profile updated. My dear friends, now this is the dashboard. Once you log into the income tax portal, you will see the screen that you are seeing on the left-hand side. It will be a constant throughout the website. Whenever you are browsing, this left-hand side will be the constant which is there. Now, this is very basic: name, PAN number, Aadhaar number, mobile number. Now here, this is the box saying logged in as self. Ideally, if I click in this drop-down box, I should be able to log in as a representative assessee for the others, but it has not been enabled as it stands. Now, this box you see below, I've covered it in a red color box. It says demand raised, total outstanding demand nil. Now, this is a very, very important one, and I'll tell you why this is important. How many times for your assessee? Current year refund due 60,000. Assessee is calling you and saying, sir, I got only 20,000, 40,000 I have not yet received. Then you will go and do some research, finding why 40,000 has not come, why he is received only 20,000. Suddenly, when you go into the website, you will see some demand raised against assessment year 11-12 and 40,000 adjusted against the demand. What is the demand? No communication. Why the demand raised? No communication. Whether there is an order to the effect? No communication. Why the refund is adjusted? No communication. But only when the refund gets credited, suddenly it will come to your light, there is an old outstanding demand. And really speaking, you have not got any notice. You have not got any order for that particular assessment year. This is all reality, my dear friends. This is what is happening in the department. So you will suddenly get a call from the assessee saying refund has not come. That time only you can do the research because no communication is going outside. My dear friends, that is the reason why they're doing this. We had raised this as a major issue. Before the website itself, this was one of the major contentions from our side, where I used to repeatedly tell the finance ministry officials that it is unfair for you to adjust the refund without giving an opportunity. Many times, in fact, for one assessee, there was a demand from assessment year 2004-5 adjusted against his 2020 refund. 16 years back, if he wants to reopen also, maximum 6 years he could have reopened. If he wanted to go for rectification also, 4 years only. If he wanted to do a revision of the return also, 1.5 years only time he had. All the timelines are expired. then how after 16 years, today he is adjusting the refund against that old demand? It should not be allowed, but it was happening. So we raised an issue saying there has to be better communication. So today, if I log into the website, I will know that there is an outstanding demand because it is going to always be in my dashboard on the left-hand side. Now, this assessee is very tax compliant. It is saying total outstanding demand bill. But if your assessee has any demand pending, it will show the amount of demand which is pending. So immediately, as soon as you log in, you will know that there is a demand pending or not, and accordingly, you can take action. You need not be surprised 6 or 7 years later. Suddenly, when refund is due, a new demand has come and refund has been adjusted against the demand. So now, from the start itself, you will know if there's any outstanding demand. So definitely, this is a good change which is there. I think most of you should have seen this now. When you log into the income tax website, this is what it looks like. It will show whatever return pending for you to be filed for that particular year, and you can select and file the accordingly return of income. Now there's this pending action which is there. So they'll show pending actions is there. Basically, there was something called a work list in the old website which used to show any pending. Same thing, they're calling it pending actions now in this new website. Now for this assessee here, you can see on the screen 2 pending action is there, but they're still not enabled it. Even as of today afternoon, this pending action is not enabled. When I tried for the assessee, I am not able to see. One assessee, I saw 8 pending actions, but I don't know what is pending. It's showing 8, but whenever I open it, it is saying no record found. You cannot see what is the pending action. So this incomplete website is causing a lot of havoc, because tomorrow a department will come and tell me I did not respond. But the reality is I did not know what to respond to. You're not showing me anything. So as it stands, I think the idea is good, but as of now, the execution does not show it. Of course, repeatedly, the government says simple procedure to file the return of income, simple procedure. But I think they do not know what they are getting into. You think you are going into a bed of roses or a bed of flowers, but actually it may be something else. The truth being told, I told you, you have to file the return in the JSON form. In the earlier income tax website, I could file ITR 1 and ITR Form online itself. I don't even have to download Excel. I don't have to download Java utility. I can just log into the website. I can select the form. I can fill it online and submit it immediately. Everything gets pre-filled. Today, if I try to file online, this is the issue I'm getting. I have to select the assessment year. Then it is showing select filing type under section 92 CD modified return. 92 CD is some advance pricing agreement. I don't know why that is even relevant. I don't even know why that is an option over here in this online form. When you go to file, it is saying filing type under section 92 CD. Almost ridiculous. This advance pricing agreements, hardly 100 cases will be there in a year. It's a very, very high level multinational companies alone will be entering into advanced pricing agreements. So I don't understand why this is there at all. So they're saying you can file online, but really you cannot even file. So it is showing ITR type, ITR 2. I put no, then it is saying you are not entitled to file and modify under 92 CD. But that is the only option they have given me. So this is how it is on the website currently. And it is not made any simple form and all like they're trying to say. So this is what the website looks like. You have various dashboards over here, as you can see. So e-file, you can see your view 26AS. Many people have been asking me 26AS where I can see. You have to go to the e-file tab, go to income tax returns, and you can view your form 26AS over here. So 26AS and the tracer still remains the old website. So touch wood, that is functioning smoothly, and there are no issues over there. So you can see your pending actions and e-proceedings. E-proceedings was not enabled till last week. Now it has been enabled. So all your notices are coming. Various demand notices are coming. I saw somebody raised a question. Demand notice has come. What I should do? I will answer the question, sir. Of course, any other questions you have, please keep putting a chat box as and when you have the question. I will ensure I answer every single question before the end of the session. So you can see how the income tax forms. Somebody asked how to file form 10A, how to file form 10IE. 10A currently not enabled. You cannot file. So, but 10IE, you have to go to file income tax forms and do it. I saw another question asking Vivad Se Vishwas what to do. Now you have to file a form under Vivad Se Vishwas scheme for your assessee. Let us assume you have taken the benefit of the scheme. As it stands, my dear friends, that Vivad Se Vishwas form is not enabled. I don't know why. I don't know why they have done it. In the old website, you had a nice tab on the right hand side. You can click it. You can see the entire history of the Vivad Se Vishwas. when you filed Form 1, when Form 2 was approved, when Form 3 you filed, when is Form 4, Form 5, everything you could see clearly. In the current website, it is saying file Form 4, but it does not even show which assessment year you are filing. So for an assessee, if you have gone for 3 years under Vivad Se Vishwas scheme, you don't know for what you are filing Form 4. It's a highly atrocious website. That is something we have even raising today, saying Vivad Se Vishwas, how are we supposed? It's a time barred thing. In fact, only the department stands to gain under the Vivad Se Vishwas scheme. And still, they have not enabled it because no new person can come into the scheme. Only the old people have to make the payment. But even to make the payment, the website is not allowing it to do it. So very, very sad state of affairs currently as it is. So these are all the forms that are currently available. It's just a list of forms. If you go to file forms, you'll be able to see all these forms. Compliance check. This is probably the most recent development. Most of you are aware of Section 194Q and 296, A, B, and AAC. These two provisions are very, very critical provisions where you will pay a higher rate of TDS for the assessee. So now they have enabled this compliance check from July 1st. They have brought this higher TDS check. So if your assessee has not filed the return of income for the last 2 years, then under these sections, you have to deduct the TDS at a higher rate or at the rate of 5%, whichever is higher. So how you have to check this compliance? You log in, you have to log in using the TAN number. Please note, not the PAN number. You have to log in using the TAN number of the assessee. Then once you log in with the TAN number, you have to go to pending actions. When you click on pending actions, you will have something called compliance portal. And when you click on that compliance portal, it will take you to this page over here. In this page, if you're registering for the first time, you have to fill the details of the principal officer of the entity, address of the company, all that you have to fill, basic information. Once you fill that, you will have this compliance check option. Now, when you click on compliance check, you have to fill in the PAN number of the other party, whoever you're transacting with, put the CAPTCHA code. Once you do that, you will get a pop-up like this. Name of the assessee, when was the PAN allotment date, what is the PAN Aadhaar link status, and whether he is a specified person or not. The moment it says yes, that he is a specified person, then you have to deduct at the higher rate. If it says no, take a printout, keep it in file for that entire financial year. You don't have to worry. As long as you have one statement saying no for that entire financial year, government has said we will be satisfied. We will not ask you a question. But if it says yes, then you have to deduct at a higher rate. And every time you transact with the assessee, you have to check whether it has changed from yes to no. So whether he has filed a belated return or whether he has got permission to file a return of income or he is satisfied the compliances, all these particulars has to be checked. So e-proceedings, finally it has been enabled. So for so long we were waiting, but still a lot of problems are there. Somebody just messaged now again saying demand notice issued for me, but it's not visible on the e-proceeding tab. E-proceeding is enabled, but for some reason there are still some issues there. For example, yesterday one of my auditors had referred a case to me where the person, they have issued a penalty notice to him, but they sent it by email. I have got the printout of the notice, everything is there. But when I log into that e-proceedings form, I cannot see the penalty anywhere. It is not, that assessment year itself is not visible in the entire e-portal. So e-proceedings portal. So I don't know why or how they've issued this notice. It is clearly a valid notice because it has a DIN number and everything. But the portal, even though it has finally come, and as long as it has come, we are happy. But the fact is, the portal is still not functioning properly and the notices are being issued. So that is another issue that we are taking up today, and hopefully it will be resolved. Now, this is what the e-proceeding portal looks like now. I personally like the old portal. It was very easy to handle, but this one is also nice. It is not very difficult. They've grouped it, notice wise and assessment year wise. So you can see in this assessee's case, it pertains to assessment year 18, 19, 13 notices are there pertaining to this proceedings. So if you click on the view notices, it will take you to all the notices and all the responses you have submitted for those 13 notices over here. Similarly, for assessment year 17, 18 here, this proceeding is happening under section 133. So that notice, what is the status, all that you can view in this, each proceeding wise, they have given a breakup. So this is a good one. I understand their plan. It looks good. Hopefully, if it executed fully, it will look well also. Now, one more question I saw is some people, they said that they are not able to log in. DSC is not working. So now first thing is this login. Many of you may have found this error when you are logging in for your SSE. PAN number correct, password correct, but when you press continue, this error is coming. My dear friends, we don't know why this error is coming, because you call that customer care number, nobody is going to answer. So I had the opportunity to speak with the principal CCIT of the systems, who is a very close friend. So I had asked them, this error is coming, what is the reason? She herself did not know why this was happening. And finally, she spoke to the team. Very interestingly, my dear friends, this error is coming when your assessee is registered, but whoever is the authorized signatory for the assessee, his PAN number is not registered on this new website. So if you are assessee, you have an authorized signatory who is the designated person who is signing it. If he is not registered or his PAN number is not registered on the income tax website, you will be getting the error that you see on this page over here. So ensure that for your assessee, you in case you are getting this error, it's a company or it's a partnership firm represented by the partners. In these cases, whoever is the Karta, whoever in case of HUF, whoever is the managing director, whoever is the signing authority, their PAN also has to be registered on the income tax website. This was not the requirement before. Under this new website, it appears to be the requirement. Whether it is correct or not is a different issue. We can argue for that separately. But the point is, today, if you want to log in, it is not allowing us to log in. You have to do that if you want to log in. Now this DSC, I saw somebody else had said 2-3 people have raised DSC is not working. So my dear friends, I have tried the DSC personally. I have not faced the issue. So when you go, you can view the certificate or you can go and select this and upload the DSC. But it is a new software. It is not whatever old software you are using for the income tax portal is no longer the valid DSC. You have to download this eMudra bridge or EM bridge, they're calling it. You have to download that. It will automatically have all the whatever is the digital key persons, whoever is making the USB, all of them are already registered on this. You simply download this, you open that software, you go to the website. If you connect that, you put the pen drive inside your system, it will automatically recognize it and you can file it. But the biggest drawback about this new DSC facility is, if you want to file the form, you must have the DSC on your hand. In the earlier website, in the earlier Java utility way, the form, the digital signature can be held by another auditor somewhere else. So most of my appeal cases that I handle, they're referred from across this. They're not next to me. The person will not be sitting next to me. They'll be somewhere across India. So when they are somewhere, maybe you are in Erode and you are referring a case to me, how are you going to send the digital signature each time I want to make a response to a notice? So in this case, I used to simply send what needs to be submitted. So I'll fill the form. I will send the form to the chartered accountant. The chartered accountant will apply the digital signature and he'll send it back to me. Under the new website, I cannot do that. Whoever has access to the website, you have to fill up all the details. You cannot save the form. So even if the chartered accountant has access to the login, I can tell him that, just apply the digital signature. But whatever I'm filling, all my submissions, all the detailed way I filled up the form, my response, he has to fill it up again, which may be challenging because he may not have the expertise to do the same. So I'll have to fill it up, but there's no way for me to save it. So unless I have the digital signature in hand, currently I cannot file it. Remotely, you cannot do the DSC. This is a big issue. It's a very practical issue. It will happen in situations where the director is traveling, or your multiple chartered accountants are using the pen drive, or multiple people are using the pen drive. This is a big issue, but hopefully they will resolve it. So my dear friends, this is the brief about the income tax website. It's honestly speaking, it's not a great website, but I see the idea the government has. They want to make it very accessible. They want to make it look very professional and look very nice. It's admirable what they're trying to do. But I think something simple that they should have done is kept the old website running till the new website is fully functional. 1.5 months later, we still don't have a fully functional website. Yet income tax is issuing notices, they're taking action, they're not extending dates, interest is being levied. All these kind of issues are there. So it seems to me very obvious that the website has a lot of work that needs to be done. So in case you have any other issues, you are facing any particular challenges, send me a message. This is my WhatsApp number that you see on the screen over here. Just drop a message with me, or you want the latest updates, what are the changes, you can just send me a message. I'll be happy to share the same. So thank you so much for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. Maybe I will take all the questions now. I see a lot of questions have started coming in the chat box. Organizers, Chairman sir, shall I take the questions?
Yeah, please proceed, sir.
Okay. So first thing, Nayan has asked, dear sir, DSC updating, we are having an issue. Nayan sir, do recheck it, because I checked DSC today also before I came into the program. I made a check to see if DSC is working. It's working perfectly fine for me. Maybe it is your system. Try in a different system. It seems to be working. Or maybe you just ask me directly what is the specific issue you are facing. I'll be able to help you. Sir, 15G, 15H filing is not open. Yes, sir. We are hoping that it will be open shortly. There are some errors which are there. You are aware that suddenly they said the Q4 will be the earlier quarter. Whatever has been filed will be rejected. So I was surprised when they said that, because that requires us to file everything again. CA Kulandaya said, Form 35, tax challan, unable to validate. Sir, I'll tell you one thing. Let us take a scenario. You have the challan number is 350035. If you put 00 before the challan number, for some reason it is getting rejected. And it is saying it has to be minimum 5 digits. So therefore, the only solution currently for that, for all your challan numbers, fill the challan number followed by zeros till it satisfies that 5-digit requirement. So if it is your challan number is 23, put 230000. Even though it should be 00023, it will not accept if you put that 00023. It will reject it. So put 23000. This is one other issue that we are raising today. Very silly issue. It shows that it has been done by someone who is not familiar with income tax. CA Nagarajan, sir, not able to register in the new PAN. Sir, it is being rectified. Once again, that is the issue that we are raising today. I will also take this up your point over here. Yes, there are current issues with the registration of a new PAN number. Sir, is there any facility to bulk upload 15 CA in the new portal? Rakesh, sir, I have not tried bulk upload still. I will give an attempt whether it is possible. To my knowledge, it is not there. They have not enabled bulk upload. It has to be done individually only. Maybe it will be enabled. I will recheck the same today, and I will discuss with them. If it is not there, I will ask them to enable it also. If there are more specific requirement on that, you can just drop me a message or send it to me directly. I will ensure that we discuss it today in the meeting. SK Banerjee says, can it be shown again how to see Form 26? Yes. So very simple. You log in, you go to e-file, and you will have all buttons in the top. You will have a button saying e-file. You go to that e-file, you go to e-file returns. You go to e-file returns. Over there, you will have the view 26AS button option. Just click that and you will be able to see your 26AS. It will take you back to the old website only. So it will be smooth and fast. Don't worry. So say, Arun, whether we need to reply to all transactions appearing in the compliance portal, in the inside portal, it contains voluminous data. That's a very practical question, Arun sir. So a very good question saying compliance portal has so much information, whether you have to reply to all. Let me clarify, you don't have to reply to everything. Wherever you get any notice from the income tax saying something needs a requirement or you have to reply to the same, then you need to reply to it. Because as you rightly said, that compliance inside portal has so much information. You'll be surprised actually how income tax has so much information about that assessee. Everything is there in that compliance portal. You cannot sit and reply to everything. So when you get a pointed information, when you get a pointed notice, please respond only to that. You don't have to respond to everything. Nayan sir, DSC is started on company. Yes, it has started, sir. It has now started on company. You can register. Yes, sir, 15 CA is to be prepared before 15 CB. Yes, 15 CA has been enabled on the website, but 15 CB is still not working. Why? Don't ask me. So they have said both 15 CA and CB, you can do it manually as of now. So like how it was done almost 13-14 years back, you can now do it manually. So you can file your 15 CA CB manually till they get it working again. CA Krishna Reddy has asked, DSC has to file in the principal officer personal PAN login, then only it will update in company. Yes, okay, maybe Nayan sir, this will answer your question more specifically. If you are having that DSC issue, ensure in that principal officer, that PAN number, you are updating the DSC. Then you can update it on the PAN for the companies, automatically it will get fixed. CA Prabhakaran sir, while filing ITR 2, validation error comes, but could not rectify them after clicking those error notification. Any alternative ways? So that is one issue which is there, where you have to go and search for the error and you have to find it correctly. They have still not fixed that. Not only that, there's an interesting error which was brought to my light, where suppose the assessee has a first name or does not have a first name in the PAN card. He has only a last name. When you are filing the return, it is rejecting the return saying compulsorily you must fill the first name. But if you fill the first name, it is saying it does not match with the PAN. So as per the original PAN card, we have all been getting PAN cards. So many PAN cards are registered 30, 40, 50 years back. So that time, there was no such requirement. First name should be there. So many people, they used to fill only the last name. So first name, no, it is mandatorily saying you must fill it. When you don't have first name as per PAN, how are you supposed to fill it? Because when you fill the first name, it is saying it does not match with PAN. And when you don't fill it and you fill it as per the PAN card, it is saying you must have a first name, we cannot file otherwise. So this is another issue that we are raising today in the meeting. So all these kind of errors are there, Prabhakaran sir. Maybe the specific error that you are there, I request you to just, tell me what that error is. I'll definitely have it discussed today to ensure it is rectified. Sir, in e-proceeding tab, only notices issued till 30th June 2020 are appearing. Notices issued later are not appearing. Sir, I am surprised that is the case, Krishna sir, because today when I checked, I saw a notice which was issued in the first week of July, or maybe I received it in the first week of July. I'll recheck the same. If that is the case, I'll definitely tell them. But if it was not issued, how did you come to know that it has come after 1st of July, sir? Because you would have got a communication. Maybe you got it by email and you are saying it is not visible on the tab. I think that is what you're trying to say. That is very bad. If that is the case, I'll definitely get it checked. But when I checked today on the e-proceeding tab, one notice which was received today by the chartered accountant when he shared it with me for handling the case, I saw it was working. Maybe it was issued before 1st July. I did not see the date. I'll have a recheck on that point, sir. When filing Form 35, it is not able to fill DIN as portal. Did not accept DIN even though it is typed as in the order. Sir, this is once again the beauty of the whoever has developed the website, because they have put a certain mandatory number of characters. So the DIN is very weird because it will have alphabets, then it will have numbers, it will have once again alphabets, it will have that special character 143, 1 in brackets, all that. So when they are filling that form, the DIN is getting rejected because of special characters, or it's getting rejected because where alphabet should be there, number is there. But we are filling as per whatever income tax is there. We are not filling our own number. So this is an issue which is there. Very correct issue, Velangovans here. So this we are hoping that we will be rectifying it today in the meeting today. That is, we have already raised this issue. In fact, day before yesterday in the meeting, I raised that issue. So we're hoping that in today's meeting, that resolution will be given for that. So yeah, Muthuswamy sir, how to check up refund status? Sir, refund status, you can log in, check against that particular assessment here, what is the refund status. But an easier way for you to check that is to go to the TIN DSL website. You go to the NSDL or TIN DSL website, you can check the refund status over there. That is much faster than the income tax website. You will know when it was credited or when it has been adjusted against a earlier demand also. CA Reena, assessee is 12-year registered charitable trust and PAN shows as firm status. So 50-year-old firm. Whether ITR 7 will create issue, we are not able to update the status of PAN. Reena ma'am, you are not the only person who is facing this issue. So many people have given this complaint where they are showing a certain registration as something else. The new website, this is the issue. So this is very much taken cognizance by the department and by Infosys, and we are hoping it will be fixed shortly. OnePlus 7 Pro. We are not getting OTP for last 1 week. Sir, for some reason, the OTP is very slow. You are right. There is an issue with the OTP, but try resending 2 or 3 times. Every time, the first time I generate OTP, it never goes. I have to regenerate 2 or 3 times. Only then the OTP is getting delivered. So please keep trying. Maybe 2 or 3 times. If you try, it will come. If you don't give up for that day, come again tomorrow and start your OTP fight. That is how it is happening now. Unfortunate scenario. I don't know why that is the case. Because earlier, there was an issue with the Aadhaar OTP from the end of the Aadhaar. But today that has been rectified. No OTPs are going. So I don't know why this website is creating problems. K. Alagappan sir, we could not verify the return filed before 31st May 2021, either through Aadhaar OTP or net banking. Has anyone faced this error? Yes, sir. A lot of people have faced that error. Aadhaar OTP at that point of time was not getting sent. It was not getting delivered. So if that is the case, you please file the same now. Sir, I have received 148 notice manually printed and scanned by the ITO via mail, but no such e-proceeding is displayed on the website, sir. Should we file the return either manually or in the portal? Alagappan sir, very practical question. That is why I told. In certain cases, most recently, the penalty notice given by the CA to me, he has given me the notice, and it is a genuine notice, I can tell, but it is not showing in the e-proceeding tab. How am I supposed to respond to the notice when it is not showing me at all? So my advice here, if you have received a notice under 148 or anything pertaining to reopening, ensure that you make a submission before the jurisdictional assessing officer. So whoever is the AO, do a manual submission, do it by Tapal, get the proof, put it in your file, keep it on record. It is better you comply rather than later on them coming and saying we issued, you didn't do anything. Because you may have noted, every time something is introduced on the income tax website, nowhere there's an announcement saying from today e-proceeding is valid. From today this facility has been made available. Nobody is saying that. You have to keep on by trial and error. One day you have to log in, every 3 hours you have to check whether one facility has come, and then only you come to light. So this is a very sad state of affairs. So suddenly they should not come and say, we enabled on that day, you only didn't respond. So what you do is ensure you file it in Tapal, give the proof to them. Because most likely, if your return is the same return as your original return, we used to submit a letter earlier saying, please treat the original return file as the return in response to 148. You file a letter like that, because you cannot file the return online. At least you can do that. Only if there's a change in the return that you're filing in response to the notice will the issue come up. So if it is the same, it is very straightforward for you. Please file it manually. Sir, not able to file rectification for assessment year 2021. Krishna sir, everyone is facing that problem. If you want to file rectification return, revised return, belated return, it is not happening today. Very sad. Sir, I am not able to e-verify return through Aadhaar OTP. Sir, it is getting e-verified, but for some reason it is taking 3 or 4 attempts. I don't know the technical reason. You just once you try to resend or press cancel and again put verify through Aadhaar OTP, it is getting delivered. So try it 2 or 3 times, it will come. Sir, is Form 10AB enabled? No, sir, it is not enabled. We are still waiting. Dinesh, even if we get OTP, portal says something went wrong. Unable. Oh yes, this is another error. It's a good point out, Dinesh sir. Where in some cases, for some reason, whenever you file the return or you file a response, it is saying something went wrong. We don't know what went wrong. In fact, one notice that we were responding to yesterday, the same thing we faced. Every time we kept responding to it, it kept saying something went wrong, something went wrong. We don't know why or what went wrong, whether it is at my side or that other party's side. So I think good you pointed this out, Dinesh. I will raise this issue now. In fact, I'm making note of the same, so that we'll discuss it today additionally. Prabhakaran sir, sir, very interesting and useful session. Thank you for clarifying. Oh, thank you so much, sir. Very kind of you. Sir, if bank account is not validated, then also we are unable to file. Yes, you must pre-validate, sir. For whatever reason, now they are saying it has to be pre-validated for you to file the return itself. Earlier they said it has to be pre-validated if you want the refund. Now they're saying to file the return itself, it has to be pre-validated. So again, once again, it is clear that whoever developed this income tax form and website, they don't know the practicalities. Whether I want a refund or not is my prerogative. Why I should pre-validate the bank account if I don't have any refund? Why I should do it? So I think not allowing me to file the return because it's not pre-validated is the issue that we are raising again today. OTP expired even after using the other OTP in time. My God, I have not faced this issue, sir. Let me make note of that because I have not come across it. Nobody else has also told me this, where it is saying Aadhaar OTP expired even after using the other OTP in time. So I'll get that clarified today, sir, because I have not faced that issue. Maybe you can try, as I told you, 2 or 3 times. You generate the OTP and you try again. It may work. So Krishna Kumar sir says, as per circular dated 1st May 2021, time limit for filing the return of income has expired as on 31st May 2021. Sir, don't worry. These dates will be extended, Krishna Kumar sir. It is a matter of law. There's impossibility of compliance. You cannot comply. The website is not working. Corona is there. Lockdown is there. 100% the date will be extended. Do not worry at all. Please file the return of income today also. It will be considered to be a valid response. Don't worry about the circular. Don't worry about the time barring nature of it. It will be accepted. So I think that is the last question. We have answered all the questions. If there's any other questions, member can unmute and ask, or you can feel free to put it in the chat box, whatever you're comfortable with, and I'll be happy to take the question. Again, once again, as I told you, if there's any issue that you're facing, maybe you don't want to share here, or any other issue that you're facing, please send me a WhatsApp message. I'll be happy to take it up very shortly after today's session. I'll be joining on the call with the Principal Commissioner, and I definitely will 100% ensure that I take it up and ensure that it is fixed. So one more question has come. So I have received a notice under section 148 dated 30th June 2021 on 30th June 2021 for assessment year 16-17. Okay, so this is the time bar issue. I normally cover this in my assessment session and my reopening session. Today, being income tax portal, I didn't want to cover that point, but since the question has come, I will do it. Sir, Krishna Kumar sir, this is sorry, Alagappan sir has raised this. Alagappan sir, this is a very, very big issue which is going on now. See, the government, every time they extend the dates for the assessee, there are a lot of representations we do. In fact, you remember on 31st January, when the extended date was about to expire, the website was not functioning. Even on 31st January at 5:30 p.m., 6 o'clock, the website was not working. And despite all of this, we asked for a representation. They said, no, we are not extending the date. We want to instill a financial discipline on taxpayers and assessees. So we want them to have a discipline and file the return in time. That is why we are doing. Website is not working. I am ready to file. But they are saying discipline should be there. That's why we are not going to extend the date. But when it comes to the government, they are saying coronavirus, poor people. We'll extend the date for them to issue notices, process the returns and all. By 3 months, we'll extend the date for them. 6 months, we'll extend the date for them. So for the government officials, date has been extended constantly. Constantly, the date has been extended. And I thought this was very, very unfair. And this is a big issue that I have taken it up. You must all be aware, for reopening of notices, new provisions are now in effect. The new provisions specifically state that now from 1st of April, or rather in the current year, from 1st of April 2021, for all the notices that are issued, there is a new procedure for reopening of notices. So where you are issuing any notice beyond 1st April 2021, you must follow the new issued guidelines. Whereas you must first issue a show cause notice before issuing the notice under section 148 itself, as per the new guidelines. But government has come back and said all the old dates are extended. For income tax also, issuing notices, passing the assessment orders, dates are extended. So now there is a big debate saying after 1st April notice is issued, is it enough if I straight away issue the notice under 148, or should I issue a show cause notice first before issuing the 148 as per the new guidelines? And this is a legal issue, sir. It is now pending before Bombay High Court and Delhi High Court. And their decisions will have a bearing on the validity of the notices itself. So if it is held that the notices are invalid, then the notices itself will be quashed. So my suggestion to you, if you have received a notice like this, definitely respond. Put it on record saying the notice is time barred. Maximum a period of 4 years they can reopen. If there is no default on the part of the assessee, even under the old laws, up to 6 years can be reopened only if they are able to prove that there is a default on part of the assessee, or he has hid information, or there is a discrepancy, that is his fault. So therefore, you put it on record saying he cannot reopen beyond 4 years. It is time barred. Put it on record, and then you file a return in response. First, you put this letter, and then you comply. So that in an appeal stage, when you are taking up an appeal, when you are fighting, we have won n number of cases like this, where at an appeal stage, we are raising the issue, and we are able to display that we raised this issue at the lower level also. It will be very, very useful for you there. Somebody has asked, how can 26 AS be seen? Okay, for I think some 2-3 times this has been asked. So I'll just quickly share my screen only for that purpose to explain to sir to see how he can file the return of income. Sir, is my screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
So Banerjee sir, once you log in, you can see over there is a e-file button. You click on that e-file button, you go to income tax returns. You can see all the options that you will have over here. So you have file returns, view the earlier returns that are filed, e-verify the return, view form 26AS. So if you click on view form 26AS, it will take you to the Traces website. So that is how you have to view the 26AS. So I think with this, we have covered all the questions. So thank you so much for a very, very vibrant participation and engagement. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Normally, I would love to come to Erode and enjoy to spend time with all the members and our chairman, Hari Keshavan sir. But thanks to Corona, I don't get to enjoy the hospitality. But this was a great interaction. I hope all the members benefited out of the same. Please stay connected. Of course, any latest updates you want, I am sharing that on WhatsApp also. So you can just send me a message. I'll be happy to share that with you. So thank you so much all, and over to the organizers.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the Erode branch of SIRC ICAI managing committee members and all the members who have participated in this program, we heartily thank you, the today's speaker, Mr. Abhishek Murali, for his very valuable and timely and very elaborative and covering all the very needed areas of the issue regarding the e-filing and also the e-filing portal. We hopefully hope that you will be taking the complaints, what the problems we have faced with the concerned people in the department and make them help us at the timely filing of the returns and complaints. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your very valuable sharing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And I will share the PPT. If anybody wants the PPT, feel free to message me. I'll share it with you. I will share it with Chairman sir also, so he can circulate in the WhatsApp groups in Erode branch.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.